man woke up from a coma to the news that he had sadly lost his arm after a bicep curl injury in the gym. So if you're like me, you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, what on earth happened? Because really the bicep curl is one of the simplest things you can do in the fitness palace of love. I mean, it was like an alligator came in and went hup and ate him. Time available at AO here. Thank you for joining me as always from another video from our strange location. Although actually by the time you're watching this, we shall be shifting boxes to a new area where we can finally get Shib rolling again. But given that I saw this story in the meantime, I thought, you know what, that's something to talk about. Because the headline reads, man wakes up to find he's lost his arm after bicep curl at the gym goes horribly wrong. A man woke up from a coma to the news that he had sadly lost his arm after a bicep curl injury in the gym. So if you're like me, you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, what on earth happened? Because really the bicep curl is one of the simplest things you can do in the fitness palace of love. I mean, it was like an alligator came in and went hup and ate him. Gabriel Leshek suffered what he thought was a pretty standard injury at the gym one day by pulling his right bicep. That can happen, always warm up, always be careful. The injury would require routine surgery, however. Just 3 days after the procedure, the bodybuilding enthusiast was rushed back to the hospital. After his arm had doubled inside, Gabriel had caught an infection known as necrotizing fasciitis, maybe, otherwise known as the flesh-eating disease. The bodybuilder underwent 11 major surgeries and was induced in a coma for 10 days. Speaking on the Youngblood Men's Mental Health podcast, Gabriel said basically it was touch and go. It was like 3 days after the surgery. A locum came out and said, right, off to the hospital. Rushed me in, and I don't recall those 3 days at all. The infection took over and ruined my memory. Basically, I was put into a coma, and it was a question or not whether I was going to live. They had to just keep chopping parts away. It's insane. My dad was calling my friends up saying, it looks like Gabe's going to die. It was hot water for a while. He added, I had 10 years of training behind me when I tore my bicep. In the year leading up to the tear, I started boxing. I felt so good about myself. It was surreal. It didn't compute. It was like, what am I looking at? Which I can't even pretend that I could ever understand because I've never lost a limb, and hopefully I never will have to lose a limb because I can imagine it must be quite the mental thing to go through. Now, this is one of those stories where you see the headline. It had nothing to do with the bicep curl or the bicep injury he suffered. It's because he went to get surgery and he caught something, I suppose. That can happen. That is one of the risks of having surgery if you don't know. And there is a ton of risks, even for the most normal and the most easiest of procedures. So I suppose he got some bug in his system and it caused all these problems to the point they were trying to cut it out. They were trying to cut it out. They weren't able to. So they had to chop off his arm because, of course, that was where the infection or the disease, whatever you want to call it, was coming from. Edward Noble, who is organising a GoFundMe on behalf of Gabriel, wrote, when Gabriel gained consciousness, the first thing he said to me was, I just have to beat this, shortly followed by, I think I want to go track cycling. Since then, Gabe has made astonishing progress, going from never riding a road bike to cycling 10 plus hours a week, taking part in races at a national level, and taking up countless other disciplines, and his goal is to perform at the 2024 Paralympic Games. So, of course, you can donate to his GoFundMe if you should watch, and I'll make sure I put that in the link below. And yeah, so always be careful with the kind of crazy headlines, which I've probably actually reused for this video. But it got me, so I thought it could get you too. But I also thought it opens up the nice door, if that's a saying, which it isn't, to talk about bicep curling in general. So let's zoom to the gym. Simon?
Okay, so now we've come to the gym and we can talk about bicep curls. Now you may have a way to do bicep curls that's better for you and that's the way you should do it. But a big mistake I used to always make is my grip was too, what's the opposite of wide? Narrow. I was thinking thin, that doesn't make any sense. My grip was too thin. And you need to go a bit wider on biceps, or at least I do. That's what works for me. Again, the most important thing you can always do when you're training is get that mind-muscle connection. If you can feel it in your muscle and you feel the muscle going all crazy and blood rushing in there, then you've got it right, even if by a scientific point of view, it would tell you otherwise. So, as always, find your form, but be safe, don't be crazy.
So here's evidence of just that. I'm just doing a warm-up here because I don't want to injure myself trying to show off how to do a bicep curl. And that's all I do. That's all it takes. I just put my arms, or my hands, I should say, with a little bit of a wider grip. And ever since I have started doing that, I found this exercise more effective. There you go. That was me bicep curling the other day. So remember, always keep it as simple and as easy as you possibly can. Look, I said it back there, but I'll say it here too. If holding the bar a bit closer is actually better for you, and you do get a better pump, and you get a mind-muscle connection, that's what you should do. I just always found that I was, for some reason, holding it too close. I don't know why. And one day when I actually spread my hands out and got a bit of width to the thing, not only did I feel like it connected with my biceps better, but I was getting a better pump and I saw better growth. And I know there are a few people out there, because I've chatted to them, who will bicep curl and they don't think it's a very effective exercise, when really it is probably one of the most effective exercises when it comes to specifically working as a part of your body, in this case the biceps, because that's what it's designed to do. Now, I would always stick to a smaller bar. I know some people like to bicep curl, and Olympic bar, which you probably can do if you're in your own gym. However, if you're in a public gym, you probably shouldn't do it because somebody will want that to squat or deadlift or, something to that effect. But I also just find with the smaller bar, you can grip it better. And when you can grip it better, not only can you have better form, but I feel like you can rep out those last few reps easier than you can with a big old bar, which is what an Olympic bar is. I think an Olympic bar weighs 20 kilograms, which is around about 40 pounds. But it does go to show as well that we just don't want to get injured. So always remember to warm up, always remember to warm down. Dynamic stretching is your friend before you have a workout, and normal stretching is your friend, or static stretching is your friend after it. And just do 10 to 15 minutes on the cardio machine of your choice. I know it's hard to get the gym in to begin with, and the clock is always against you, but just give yourself that extra 10 to 15 minutes. Even 5 minutes will do. You don't want to walk into a gym and just start lifting weights cold. I'm not going to say you're going to fall into a coma and get some horrible disease, but I am saying you're going to be pretty pissed off with yourself if you've got some momentum right now and you're excited about going to the fitness palace of love, and that is taken away with you. And I will leave you with this: if you do get injured, just take a week off straight away. I mean it. One of the biggest regrets I've got from my both gym and wrestling life is I get injured, I think, I can work through it, and then I have to take a month off. Whereas as soon as I'd done the injury, I just took a few days, iced it, heated it, whatever is best, go on the internet, go talk to your doctor and figure it out. By the time those 7 days are done, you're going to be in such a better position for recovery that you can start going to lift weights again and work around it. But when it's fresh and when it's raw, make that the priority. Learn from a bald idiot. I've done it way too many times, and the few occasions I go the other way, wouldn't you know it, it fixes itself pretty quick. Now, please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think about all of this, and let me know how you stay safe when you get training. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the bell ding ding so you're part of the notification team, and click the video on the screen. Don't even have to watch it. I just want you to click it. Those views are helpful. And leave a comment below. Also, grillermind.com for Simon. You can time and get 10% off. At SimonMeta316 on Instagram and Twitter. Come give me a follow or send me a DM. Maybe you have a story like this. I will read it and probably talk about it. What else do we have? We have Cameo, and we have patreon.com for Simon316. If you want to support me that way, and at the moment that is all we are doing, because like I say, we are moving house. I'm in number 2 of 3, and then thankfully the next time I record a video, it will be 3 of 3, and I suppose we'll have to do a brand new house tour. Because if we don't do a brand new house tour, are you even a YouTuber? No, you are not, and you basically suck. Goodbye.